Hi everyone, and welcome to what I believe is going to be my most important video to date. Please stay tuned because this is going to apply to everybody. Today we will talk about death, we will talk about life, and we'll talk about swimming. But most importantly, we need to talk about death. And I want to ask you, how many of you out there have your driver's license and drive a car? How many of you ride a bicycle on the roads or walk on the roads? Okay, what prompted this video is that Shelley Stewart decided to swim 22 miles, the Tampa Bay Marathon route that is usually 24 miles, but she cut it down to 22 miles to honor her brother. Her brother Adam was tragically killed by a reckless and careless driver. So it was not just an accident, it was reckless driving incident which could have been prevented. And so Adam Hasebroock was 43 years old, traveling on a road posted 20 miles per hour, considered safe for cyclists in the Tampa Bay area on November 4th, 2021, and he was struck by a sports car going almost 80 or more than 80 miles an hour. It's estimated that this driver was driving 100 miles an hour, had to turn around a curvy part of the road and slowed down to 80 to 85 as reported by the journalist in the Tampa Bay Times. This driver had racked up 4 or more high-speed tickets, reckless drivers. I think that's over 15 or 20 miles past the posted speed limit is considered reckless. And again, I'm no expert on road safety, but we need to talk about road safety today. It's very important. This death did not have to happen at all. The driver, as reported by the journalist, was supposedly maxed out 5 attendance driver's correction course, or whatever it's called. When you have speeding tickets, you can go take a driver's course, and in your lifetime you cannot do that more than 5 times. Well, this driver has done it 5 times. This driver is also well known in a high profession with a high salary, and I learned in my 20s that when you have money and when you have clout, you hire the best of lawyers, and oftentimes those lawyers can get you off the hook. I happened to have a family friend when I was younger, not in touch now, but my friend was an attorney who specialized in helping people with DUI or DWI cases, driving under the influence. And I asked him in my early 30s or late 20s, how can you live with yourself at night? You're getting people off the hook. And he composed himself and he said, everybody is entitled to have legal representation, and I happen to be that person to represent these cases. And so then I got to thinking, okay, true, everybody is entitled to a lawyer for their case. But I sincerely hope that when you are, or if you are the guilty party, if you have been driving under the influence and you killed somebody, if you were speeding, I certainly hope that you're not going to rationalize, lie, get out of it. I hope that you will be remorseful and you will admit and you will correct your behavior. You will never correct your behavior if you do not admit wrongdoing. Now, I understand we're a litigious society and people do not admit wrongdoing. They get the lawyers and they try to make a case come out to your advantage. And so it's just very sad. It's very sad that this young man who was an accomplished triathlete, he had a nice loving family, he was a twin, his brother's name was Andrew, and it's a death that didn't need to happen. And so in her grieving, his sister Shelley decided to offer up this swim, this 22-mile swim or 12-hour swim in honor of her brother. And she's also planning a local event for a local World Day of Remembrance to honor victims and survivors of road traffic collisions for November 20th, 2022. More information will follow in the Tampa Bay area. I hope you'll become involved in this. Many of us have lost or have known somebody to die in a traffic accident. And so let me just talk about some of the main culprits, as I know, not as an expert, just as I know over my lifetime, that we really need to watch out for. Number one is speed, and that just is very obvious. This driver was 4 times the legal speed limit. He lost control. He was on the wrong side of the road when he struck and killed Adam instantly. So if we keep our speed down, if we keep it to the posted limit, and if you have a need for speed, go do a Richard Petty driving course. Go to Daytona Speedway or Charlotte Motor Speedway or Talladega and get in a fast car on a racetrack and do that. Or take up the hobby of racing and keep your speeding confined to where it is socially acceptable. So we know with speed, it delays our reaction time, our braking, our steering. Throw onto that inclement weather or dark or fog or low visibility, and your speed magnifies, it intensifies. So we need to keep our speed down. And those of you teaching people driving, parents need to set a good example to your 15, 16, 17-year-old who's learning to drive. That speed matters. There's a reason we have posted speed limits. The second thing we need to watch out for is alcohol. And included in the alcohol are psychiatric meds that might alter your behavior or reaction time, drugs, and anything like that. Anything that is going to impair you is a big no-no when you're driving. And don't be so proud or take the chance after a night of drinking that you could just drive home 2 miles a little buzzed or a little impaired. Don't do it, because many accidents happen close to home, close to where you live. So speed, alcohol, texting. Texting takes your eyes off the road. Keep your eyes on the road and be scanning the road. Look in your rearview mirror. Look side to side. You should be paying full attention. And texting takes your eyes off the road, and it's not important for you to text. Pull over to the side of the road, or just make good decisions. Sleepy at the wheel. Sleepy at the wheel is actually a pretty big one too, I believe. I think only maybe 2/3 of Americans get the right amount of sleep at any given time. There are people are sleepy in need of a nap, and your head might bob, and your eyes in just a split second can cause a fatal accident. You don't want to be a part of a fatal accident. You don't want to be the cause of one, because this, if you are the cause of a fatal accident, you may never recover from that. Loud music, loud talking. You need to be able to hear things. What if your music's so loud and you don't hear a siren behind you? Let's say a fire truck is trying to pass. So keep your music a little bit lower. Keep the noise in your car a little bit lower. Anger is a big one. Road rage. Do not get behind the wheel if you have intense emotional issues, or if you're angry, or if you're going to be triggered into anger. Just stop. It's just not what should be part of driving. You have to remember that your car is not just some fun little thing you get in automatically with your keys and start it and go drive to where you need to go. The car could be a weapon. The car could be a danger. The car should be considered a very serious equipment that you're driving every time you step into your car. Distractions. How about the mom in the minivan with a few little kids who are fighting like crazy wild animals in the back seat? Let the kids fight. Don't turn around and try to break up the fight. You need to be paying attention. You need to not be impaired. You need to not speed. So anyways, those are just some of my thoughts about safe driving. I hope we can continue to think about safe driving. And also, when you are out walking, when you are out riding a bike. Now, I understand that Adam obeyed the athlete protocol where he had lights on the front of his bike, lights on the back of his bike. Can you be seen? When you're out walking and when you are riding your bike, can you be seen? I hope you can be seen. You're wearing the helmet. Wear a vest. Put a blinking light on your vest or the back of your helmet and the back of your bike. You need to be seen. And as a driver, you need to be looking and aware that there are cyclists on the road. There are people walking. There are motorcycles out there. There are electric cars that are quiet out there. You have to really be paying full attention. And if you can cut down on all of these factors that I mentioned, you might just make it to your destination alive. All right, so why don't we move into a more positive talk, and let's talk about Shelley's swim. I'm just so impressed. I just have to share it with you. And again, I played a very minor role in this swim. I simply met Shelley when she had 3.5 miles to go, a little over 2 hours to go in her swim. So what I'm going to be saying, I might have a few things, mixed up, but this is just from my perspective. She spent about 1 year thinking about this swim, planning this swim. And then when her brother passed away in November, she started thinking right away to dedicate this swim in honor of him, in memory of him. So she has definitely had her brother on her mind every day, I would imagine. And she escalated her training. I believe she had 4 coaches, different coaches with her swimming technique. She invited me to a stretching session with Garrett McCoy, and it was wonderful. It focused on shoulders for swimmers and stretching, because if your body has movement and flexibility, you can get more from your body when you actually get in the water and swim. I accompanied her on some of her training swims, and 22 miles is no small feat. You need to get and practice in the water on a Saturday and a Sunday, whether you want to or not, whether you might be in the mood or not. She had to do these 6, 8, 8.5 hour, 9-hour swims, and I would accompany her on a 4-hour swims, or a few one time 7.5 hours. And she just embodies someone with a great attitude, motivation, perseverance. So it's pretty awesome knowing her. And I say that we are swim twins because our pace is very similar, and we love to go on long swims. But she would be the better twin if I said swim twins. She's got what I'd like to have, and I sometimes used to be. I think I've grown out of it. The complaining swimmer. Oh, are we almost done? Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Oh, maybe I want to quit. Nothing. On those last 3.5 miles, Shelley had no complaints. She kept smiling. She just stroke after stroke. She did what it took, and she got to the end. And when she finished, she got out and started jogging through the water to the beach. It was just pretty awesome. Yes, I want to mention also that in the planning of the swim, she involved her family. Her husband, Derek, planned a lot, kayaked for her. Her son, Rain, kayaked, and they were just very supportive. It was just so nice to see Rain yelling from the kayak, "Come on, Mom, you can do it. Yeah, let's go," cheerleading. And I think her daughter was on land taking care of a few things and coordinating things. She had her sister and brother-in-law, I believe from Texas, serve on the boat in certain roles, part of the crew, and that accompanied her. It's very important to have a boat accompany you on these very long swims when there might be boat traffic. So she started at 5 a.m., and I believe the conditions were pretty rough. It was dark. It was at the southern part of St. Petersburg, Florida, and she made her way north up to Ben T. Davis Beach. So she had to go under 2 or 3 bridges, the Gandy Bridge, the Franklin Bridge, and I met her about 1,000 yards south of the Franklin Bridge and accompanied her to the end. Her good friend from high school, Paul, who's an excellent swimmer, so often he would swim alongside her. I think he would kayak alongside her, so he offered some great support too. So she had a nice support system, and that's very important in some of these long swims.
Just 1 sec.
1 sec.
1 sec. Camera. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Thank you.
Kayak's coming over to you.
Go. Ready.
Oh, okay. I don't need to put anything in it.
Jump in.
All right. Ah!
Bye. Gotcha. There she goes.
Woo-hoo!
We what?
We lessened the weight.
Lessened the weight.
All 20 pounds over.
This swim, for me, I offered it as a prayer for those who, for Adam, for her family who's grieving, for Adam's wife, the twin brother, and just the family and everybody who knew him. And it's just a very sad thing. An accident is one thing, but a reckless, careless, needless tragedy is another. And I don't even know if I want to call what happened to him an accident. It was a preventable reckless. I will try to stop with my opinion. For our loved ones, we do what we can. Talk about life. Is those who are living our life, are you living every day like it could be your last day on earth? Someday you just won't wake up, or you won't know that your time has come. Are you being as productive as you can in life? Are you being loving and kind with other people? And swimming these long distances, many people will tell you, you really push your limit. You see what you can do out there in the water. Your training is important. Your form, your technique. There's always something to improve. So I hope those of you watching this will work on improving something. Improve something in your life. Improve your communications with your loved ones. Have you said I love you to your loved ones lately? Are you being a kind person, and are you trying to do the best you can with the hours you have in the day? Anyways, I love you, Shelley. You're great. I'm so impressed with this. It's awesome. I look forward to swimming with you more. And thanks everybody for watching. If you like this channel, click the subscribe button. My videos are on marriage, especially long-term marriage, 25 plus years, marriage and family, childbirth and swimming, and whatever else I feel like talking about for the day. So I hope you have a great day and make your life productive.